Well, Patrick, we talked about what you thought was the Twins' best two-game stretch the past couple days in Seattle, and they come back on in the finale, and the bats fall flat again.
Yes, they did. And Buck comes back after that 2 days of rest and goes 0 for 4, right? Did he get a few strikes? But here's the big event yesterday that I don't think got proper attention. Okay. We passed 1,000 strikeouts yesterday. And I got to look it up to see who did it, because there's 1,002. So I'll have to find out. I forgot to look to see who got the 1,000th strikeout, but it's a pretty noble achievement when you're not even 2/3 of the way through the season, right? Isn't it? It's pretty distinctive.
Absolutely.
I didn't watch the whole game yesterday. Did Bally? Anybody watch the whole game yesterday? Anybody?
I listened to it.
I was wondering if they marked the occasion.
They did bring it up. Yeah, I watched about 1 through the first through 7th inning, and Dick brought it up. I think when it happened in the 4th or whenever it was in the middle part of the game. But yes, they much passing. They just said that was the 1,000th strikeout.
Well, no, it couldn't have been the 4th, because it's 1,000. According to the stats today, it's 1,002. So it would have been a little later in the game. But way to go, guys! I hope it was Joey, but I don't know. I'll have to look it up and make sure. But that kid's that Kirby, though, he's fun to watch. He throws strikes, doesn't walk anybody, throws hard. He got rung up his first 2 starts out after the break, but he was good yesterday. He's good. Throw it over. He reminds me of myself. I was a very good strike thrower, only 45 miles an hour less, but that was
you throw it over, Pat.
Throw him over. Well, I've always told the famous story of my lowest moment when I got bombed by the Wyndham boys. And then we brought in 2 guys who couldn't throw any strikes, and I had to come in and relieve myself. And they had to bring me back in because I throw strikes. And this was when taunting was acceptable. Right. I'll tell you that. This was they were not good sportsmen, those Wyndham Eagles. When he's back, hey, here he comes again. Let's go.
Did you flip him off?
Huh?
I said, did you flip them off?
No, I just
did you retort with something?
I just hope nobody else hit one in the river that was behind the right field fence, because I think it's the Cottonwood, or it might be the Des Moines. There's a river there, and Roger Stempfli and Eddie Maris both almost hit it in the river. I remember those guys. So they were very good hitters, but that didn't mean that they couldn't have done that against me anyway if they weren't very good hitters. So we get the Mighty Whiteys, and who finally won a game yesterday, and they got Eloy back. I see Eloy's back in the lineup. He came off the DL. So you look at their lineup now. Down at the bottom, they got a couple of injuries, and I think Vaughn's back. I can't understand how come they're so rotten. Can you? I mean, they got a pretty good lineup, but this Berger, who I'd never heard of, he's got 21 home runs. Jake Berger's got 21 home runs, and they still stink. It's amazing. They're going to have a big fire sale, I would think, here, don't you?
I think they got some toxic people is what they've got, too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that clubhouse works or has worked for a few years.
No. Somebody will come and get Dylan Cease, won't they? Are they going to trade him?
And Lance Lynn.
And Giolito. Oh yeah, Lance is. I'm sure Lance is standing up and taking credit for his bad performances. It's amazing to me though how well he's pitched since he left here. He was terrible, and of course, as you pointed out, the attitude was awful that he ended up having to be here. So. I had some guy rip me in my Twitter account. Ripped Carlos Correa in my Twitter account yesterday, going up every time he was up and trying to hit a home run, and he didn't play. So is this people trying to see what they can get away with in your Twitter account or something to say how awful Correa was, hoping to get some kind of response, and then they could point out that he didn't play today? Is that what's that about?
Well, was it a Twitter account that said, Judd 0654321? Was it one of those bot accounts that wasn't real and actually wasn't paying attention?
Yeah, I got one the other day about this guy about ripping the Star Tribune, and then I looked him up, and he had one follower, and I said, and then I said, "Oh, please come back and bring your follower," and then somebody said, "That's a bot. It's only been up for 2 weeks or something," but it didn't have the number on it. It just, or he's just kind of a Russian guy or something trying to. It's Twitter's not as much fun as it used to be. There's too much false. I don't mind the false information. I don't like the false people that are, that they're not real human beings. So, no, and I'm not smart enough to detect who isn't and who is.
Do you really care that much, though? I don't really care
that much.
Now
I see our Vikings are going to look for more information on Jordan Addison.
Yeah, let's talk about that. 140.
One story statement. They're going to look for more information. Well, he's going 140 at 3 o'clock in the morning. What more information do you need? What else are they? What are they going to call him in and say? Why'd you get more information by asking him? Is there any excuse for you going 140 at 3 a.m.? What the teams all say the same crap. But I said to you, Judd, yesterday, he was going so fast, even the Vikings security people couldn't cover this one up because they got a whole team now dedicated to try to cover up their misadventures. But it's hard to do this one. How did they catch him, though? That's my question. Who goes on?
He happened to drive by a cop when he was going 140 miles per hour.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the cop didn't go 140 to catch him.
I'm sure he saw the lights.
He saw the light and said, "This can't be."
I actually saw a high-speed chase on 94 coming home from a Wild game about, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, this was like last
4
year,
months ago, Pat.
Yeah.
And I'd say the guy was doing 120, and he swerved, and like I saw the lights, and I saw this car, going that fast, and he swerved around me, and I was so impressed. I called Dawn. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm watching a high-speed chase in action.
You're in the middle of it.
I'm in the middle of it, and there's enough room there that I will say this. If you get going at 3 in the morning, as impressive as 140 is, it is plausible.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it is.
In a Lambo.
But I keep saying this. The one of the big carryovers from COVID and the pandemic and the shutdown is the crazy racing, driving while in traffic on 94 and going towards the tunnel. You'll see, if you see a car come by, like on the left, going 90 or 100, and changing lanes, you're sure as hell to see two more. They turn them into races. And, we had the guy, a couple of years ago who hit the side of the wall going into the tunnel on the left side of the wall.
Blew up.
The car blew up, exploded. And I thought the local paper our paper did a very much disservice by not following up on that. I think that was a phenomenal story. The video was phenomenal, and I think 2 of the 3 were dead. I want to know who wasn't dead in the thing, but it's I don't quite get it, especially if you're in traffic and a guy races like hell to get in front of you, and then there's nowhere to go. But so I've never been a close follower, but I am a way back. I'm the old man driving 150 yards behind the car in front of me today because I don't trust anybody. It's nuts.
Here's my question, Royce, and this is now the third one involving Vikings. Peterson, Bernard Berrien, who I think was around 100 in Woodbury, and this one.
Wasn't Adrian 110 or something?
Yeah, and that was on the crosstown. That took some guts, because on the crosstown you can fly off that thing quick. But anyway, the point is this: all 3 of them not intoxicated.
Yeah, that is.
Like, are you just out at 3 a.m.? Like, what are you doing in a Lambo at 3 a.m.? Because are you coming from a bar but you didn't drink? Which is.
Did you see the price of this Lambo? By the way, we don't know what he paid, but $235.
Pat, did you see the latest commit for the 3M Open that's coming here? Justin Thomas committed.
And did you see what he shot yesterday? in Britain.
I knew it was. I know it wasn't good.
He'll be here early. He
Yes.
can come and practice at the 3M. 82 he shot. He is just awful, but he has to be here to try to get into the FedEx Cup.
I know.
He's not in the top 70 right now, or he's hanging on. He's just been awful. And yesterday, the British Open yesterday, he was hitting it all over the lot. I didn't see much of it, but I was just reading about how horrible he was. There's this British Open could be missing a lot of star power. The Hollis brings flies guys back here on a jet. He charters a jet and brings them back. So they might have to move that up to Saturday, the jet, instead of late Sunday, because a lot of these guys are going home. A lot of prominent players are going home. Apparently, if you get in a bunker at Royal Liverpool, you could die in there, and they could find your bones before you get out of there.
Those bunkers I saw them. They're incredible.
Yeah.
They're not bunkers. They're like World War II ditches, holes to go hide in.
The greatest shot of my life was Joe and I were playing in Scotland, and I was in one of those things on this course called Dunbar. There's a wall in front of me, like 2 feet, a foot in front of me. And I'm going to try to hit something, and it smacks into the wall, pops up in the air, and dribbles down and goes in the hole. and the save from the bunker, Coach Joe always called it the Scottish miracle. So, because I was on my way to making 12 on that hole, trying to get out of that bunker. Yeah, it's an amazing. Most of the Scottish courses there are the old ones.
Yep.
They built them. There's a downtown. There's a town. These little quaint towns. And they built 9 holes out that way. You walk 9 holes straight that way, and you turn around and walk 9 holes back the other way. You walked out of town, then you walk back to town. Now Muirfield's different, which they're not playing here, but Muirfield is the year I covered it in 2002. They got an inner 9 and an outer 9, so they one 9 goes all the way around the outside, and then the other one. But they're amazing places because they don't worry, if there's a little extra grass over here or something, tough bananas, they don't worry about that stuff. And then they hope for storms and they keep playing in the wind and the rain, and it's pretty amazing.
Hey, last Twins thing, Patrick. What do you do? So what's the short-term solution here with Buxton? Like, if this continues, no, you can't. He has to play again. I'm not saying he doesn't, but
no.
Like, at what point in time do you decide he is a detriment to the lineup?
Oh, he is. I mean, he's. I don't know how can he be this bad? One for, I think is it 1 for 35 now? What is it? I don't know what.
Might be worse than that.
But yeah, it's. I mean, his mental state has got to be awful. I mean, and why bat him 5th? If you're going to bring him back and you're not worried about his ego anymore, bat him 7th, or don't bat. I don't know what to do. I really don't. You got to make up some disabled. You can put him on the disabled list, but
right.
Everybody says send him to St. Paul. Well, you can't go to. We got rules. You can't send guys to the minor leagues. You got to put them on waivers. And I got news for you. You put him on waivers. Nobody's claiming the $80 million you still owe him. So, this is phenomenal. Though. This is really phenomenal that he could be this inept. Because I don't think it's. Like Miguel got to a point where he just couldn't hit the high fastball, right? I mean, so then they'd throw him a pitch off the mound because he was just couldn't get to the modern. But I don't think this is bat speed. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's bat speed. It's pitch recognition is just awful. And
it's non-existent. That's the thing about it. It's non-existent.
Yeah, I think the poster for his trouble here is the time that he got ahead 3-0 and then took 3 pitches down the middle of the plate. What What are you looking for? But obviously he's just a dead guess hitter right now, and he's guessing wrong. But even if he guesses right and it looks like he's on time, he misses the ball by 6 inches. Right? I don't know what you do. They got horrible problems here as far as that, as far as he's concerned. Why didn't Kepler play yesterday? He's been hot. Usually
They
when
rested their guys. They rested Correa too. They kind of just
I can see.
They play Kepler when he's not playing well, and they rest him when he's been hot.
I can see giving Correa a day off. Okay, give him a day off because he supposedly got the bad heel or something. But Kepler, when he's 29, let's go here. He's one of your best athletes when he's interested, and he's doing well. And you got a right-handed pitcher on the mound. What is going on? I don't know. I don't get that one. It was a planned day off.
Him not to play.
When they got together on February 14th down in Florida with the new trainer, they said, now it looks like we should give Max that day off in late July. Is that what we circle days and say it's a scheduled day off? It's nonsense.
I don't know. And the last one is this one. Jorge Lopez needs to be IL'd again too. That was unwatchable yesterday.
I think you should release him. Probably
cut him.
Yeah, I think you should just get rid of him. I mean, it's for his own mental. I mean, yesterday it was not only the pitch is terrible, but it's obvious that his head is. You got to worry. You might have to have somebody follow him around. Last time the thing came up, they didn't advertise it, but the reason they had to go looking for him because he didn't show up at the ballpark. Ooh. He did not show up, and then they ended up putting him on the mental health list. So I mean, they went and got him, and he came to the ballpark, and then they decided to do that. But it's I have been wrong on many things. I have never been as wrong on anything as him in my life. I loved him, and in April I was taking a victory lap. He had 10 appearances. They didn't hit a foul ball off him. What happened? How did it happen?
The Royce column is what that was.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It was.
You're like
That's
GSI
right.
cursed current day.
Yeah, God, it was brutal. But now every breaking ball he throws is hit me. Nothing. There's no bite on anything he's throwing. It's
or it hits guys.
Huh?
Or it hits guys.
Or it hits.
He has no
dangerous.
clue where those pitches are going at times.
I don't know what the contract is. Is he just signed for this year? I don't think they gave him. I don't think they gave him a multi-year thing. So
no, I think he's just under team controller.
I think you should just what do you think's going to happen here? He's completely screwed up. Trouble is they're out of relievers. I mean, you got you need Emilio to be good now. All of a sudden, Emilio's your guy. Emilio, Jackson, Duran are the guys. Exactly. Duran was getting up there pretty good, wasn't he? Last time out. What? 4 pitches over 104. 104.
Yep.
104. Yep. Unbelievable.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, sir. We'll talk to you for Unchained on Monday, Pat. Thanks.
All right. Hey, when does the Viking camp start?
They have a press conference. No, the rookies report on Sunday. They have a press conference on Tuesday and the veterans report. And then the rookies, I think, are going to be on the field Wednesday. And a week from Saturday, the whole thing starts.
I got one last question. They fined Daniel Snyder $60 million. Who gets that money? Is that just Ziggy and the guys?
The league does, because he robbed the league. He was supposed to share it. He withheld it from his fellow, so it's going to be dispersed throughout the league.
Yeah, so Ziggy gets a couple of million of the fight. You can we want 60 million of this. It's amazing. They're amazing.
What
incredible.
All right.
Thanks for that. By the way, that appearance with Patrick Royce, sponsored by our friends at Power Lodge. It's still summertime, Judd. I'm seeing mid to high 90s next week. I love it personally. I love getting out on the water, and I would have to do it on a Bennington.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, Power Lodge, Miller Marine, both fantastic places to get your tri-tune or your Bennington pontoon. Look at that. Look at the fun on
Like, there's
the
Judd.
lake. As Declan said, there's a lot of summer left. There's a lot of time to get out there. And there is a lot of time to experience throttle therapy. And you can do it on a Bennington. Again, Miller Marine and Power Lodge are the places to find your fun on the water.